What's up?
Welcome back to
Yeah,
Frontside Press.
welcome back. Another episode of Frontside Press. Musings with MGL. YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Go to our Facebook page for Frontside Press. Like, share, and subscribe. Get the notifications so you know when we start every Thursday so you can tune in and watch the show. So, yeah. Yeah, apparently last week we couldn't go live on YouTube. We were only live on Facebook, but I was able to upload that video, so you can still go to Musings MGL and watch the video from last week and get caught up on what you missed.
Last week was what, the point system on the braces, right?
Yeah, last week. That's right. You weren't here. Just to refresh everybody's recollection, you had a Christmas party to go to, I think, for your day job, right?
For one of my day jobs.
One of your day jobs. So you had a Christmas party last week. So yeah, our good friend Cindy Clark from Minnesota Elder Law filled in for you. She did a wonderful job, and yeah, we had a lengthy discussion about the bullshit ATF point system for stabilization braces. It's a good topic, good conversation.
At what point do these government agencies become an enemy of the state? That's my question.
I don't know. Probably about the same point we get taken off of YouTube and Facebook for talking about sedition
For me saying that?
in civil war. Who the hell knows? Probably just as fast. You know, I don't know. I mean, people. It's funny because people ask me that kind of stuff all the time. Well, why do these laws are illegal? How do they keep doing them? And why do we keep having them? And what do we do to stop them? And the problem is, like, you can't basically, short of something along those lines. You can try and vote in people who will repeal them, but we all know that one thing politicians don't do is repeal laws that are in place. So you can try and do that. There's all kinds of weird things. People talk about constitutional conventions and all that kind of stuff. But essentially, look, the system we have right now is a law gets passed. People can challenge it in the court system and take it all the way to the Supreme Court. And if it's passed and if it's upheld by the Supreme Court, we can sit here and say all we want that it's unconstitutional, it's an infringement on our rights or whatever. But that is the system that we have. So as long as those things happen, then that becomes the law, and you can either follow it or not follow it. And short of something crazy like sedition or civil war or whatever, there's not much else you can do about that.
I mean, it still doesn't make it legal no matter what they say.
We're not calling for it. Correct.
Right. Yeah, we're not saying you should have civil war, because right now I'm too sick and fucking tired to have a war.
I know, right? Yeah. You look like hell, man. No offense.
Yeah. I don't even feel
it's Christmas.
Good. Merry Christmas.
You should be happier. You should be jovial and fested and festive. Infested.
Yeah, festive. I haven't slept.
Yeah, no, right? It seems like he's infected with something, I guess. Grinchmas.
I'm not even drinking bourbon. I'm drinking tea.
Oh, jeez. I got my green shirt on, my Santa's helper's hat. Do you even have a toast? Do you have a Christmas toast?
Let me see. Let me think something up right here on the spot. All right.
Do it. I'll never remember that. Can you remember that? Go ahead and repeat
it. Well, I'll repeat it right after she says it one more time.
Right.
Say it again. All right. A Christmas wish. May you never forget what is worth remembering, and never remember forgotten.
Best forgotten.
Merry Christmas.
I just say Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah to all our Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
We're right in the middle of Hanukkah, so all our Hanukkah viewers out there, happy Hanukkah. Kwanzaa, whatever, I don't care. Celebrate whatever you want. That's what's great about America, allegedly, right? This big free country where you can celebrate whatever you want. Nobody should care.
Yeah, until they break the Constitution and make a law that you can't celebrate Christmas or something.
No. Remember, not even a law. It's a regulation by an administrative agency. It's not something that's passed by Congress. So they don't even have to make a law. They just make a rule, and then all of a sudden your Christmas is regulated.
I got something they can regulate right here.
You can't have a suppressed
My
Christmas.
tea.
You can't have a suppressed Christmas. So there you go. So
Uh,
welcome back. Yeah, I know.
yeah,
As long as your
my
Christmas tree doesn't
stabilizing
have a
brace.
stabilization brace, it's perfectly legal. But if you slap that stabilization brace on your
Oh,
Christmas tree, it's going to be regulated.
all right,
So yeah, we
so I'm
talked
going to
about point
apologize
systems and
right
all
now
that
for
kind of
feeling
crap.
like
So
shit.
yeah. We're gonna do a short show here tonight. Mike's not feeling real good. Plus, it's Christmas. Everybody's probably got rapping to do, or parties to go to, or exciting things. And I guess, and again, you can always catch up on it. Catch up on it later. There's not much. Actually, not much has really happened in the news since the last week. Certainly nothing gun related. There hasn't really. There's an odd story here and there about somebody breaking into a house, shooting things, or shooting people, things of that nature. But nothing really exciting. Yeah, here locally, some bank robber rammed into a Wells Fargo to try and rob the bank.
How'd that work out?
I think he got some money, and they like last I saw on the Facebook sites, they were still trying to find him. They had those awesome grainy photos. They need to get some better facial recognition. Did you hear that weird facial recognition story out of New York?
No, what happened?
So check this out. So the guy who owns the New York Knicks, apparently he's an asshole, just like most of these rich guys usually are. So he's an asshole, and he owns the New York Knicks. He also owns Radio City Music Hall. Everybody knows Radio City Music Hall, and they do the Rockettes every year. So this guy, he has a policy that if he's ever sued, if somebody ever sues him, that all the lawyers that work for the law firm that's suing him are banned from all of his locations. So he doesn't allow them to go to the basketball games or Rockefeller Center or anything like that. And so this woman went to see the Rockettes at the Rockefeller Center with her little daughter for Christmas. He apparently has facial recognition software at Radio City Music Hall, and the facial recognition software tagged her as somebody who works at one of these law firms, not even necessarily the lawyer on his case, just at one of the law firms, and they kicked her and her daughter out of the Rockefeller Center Rockette show because she's works for a law firm on the other side, and his facial recognition software recognized
All right, so I like to
her.
take both sides of this.
Sure.
So, so first of all, what an asshole, right?
I would think so.
Second of all, how awesome is that? Like, if you sue me, I will use facial rec to ban you and anyone in
And your
10
family
generations of your
and your
family
5-year-old daughter from coming to
from
Rockefeller
going to
Center.
see the Rockettes at Christmas. Like, oh, wait a minute. I got something I got to show you. I got to show you, right? Because my friend started a new company, okay? So husband and wife started, well, it's the wife's company. We'll make sure everybody understands that, all right? Because she yells at him. So it's awesome, all right? But he brings one into me and he says, we started this new company. And I think it's perfect timing for this, okay? So you pay him the money, and then you have this sent to whoever you want. All right, so it goes to him, and it comes this nice box. It's magnetic, right? Uh, and they open it up, and then it says this.
You're a douche.
So
Must be Italian. French.
so I told him it's perfect timing because everybody's feeling like it's hopeless,
Like everybody's a
and
douche.
there's nothing you can do about it. But for $39.99, there's something you can do about it. And their website is like douchesender.com. It is.
Eat a
Eat a
bag of
bag of
dicks.
dicks,
Eat a bag of
right?
dicks.
And
Nice,
this is,
nice.
and as you could tell them, there's nothing, illegal about
Of
telling
course not.
somebody they're a douche and sending them an empty douche,
Not yet.
right? Oh, and if somebody sends you one, don't take the bottle out, hold it up, and ask what it is. Just close it back up. No, that you. Well, that's what he said
Be
was
a great
his
party fail.
guys. He showed it to some of his friends, and all the guys like always go, "What is that?" Right? And the wives are always like, "Put it away, put it away." So it's an official one. Comes in a nice box. Opens right up. It's anonymous.
Nice,
Comes out of Tampa. So they're all mailed out of Tampa.
nice. Do they want
It's
to be a
just,
sponsor of the show? We could be sponsored by You're a Douche.
yeah, I think I'll talk to him.
You can put his link in the
Douche
description below.
douchesenders.com. It's can you check it for me? It's either douche sender or douchesenders.com.
Yeah, you can get that link and put it in the description below. I'm using MGL on the live feed. I'll be all right with that. That's funny. There you
Is
go.
that what it is?
Douche
So,
senders plural. In case you want to send more than one.com.
but I just thought it was just perfect timing. Like
No,
this is when somebody dicked you over and you have to sit there and think about it. That's what comes
right.
out of this. So,
Well, no, and you're right about that guy. Right? He's a complete asshole. I mean, then talk about being a childish dick. But how I guess awesome, for lack of a better term, would it be to be so rich and powerful that you could just do that. You know what? You and everybody who works for you, you're not coming to my shit.
right.
I
Well, I
can see
mean,
that being
it'd be
like I
like
can see
this.
Trump doing something like that just because it's just one of those things that they do.
It'd be better if he would got like dicked over and then like the guy that dicked him over tried to go and he's like, no,
Right.
like that, he's just gonna look like more of an a-hole because
Well, right.
of
It's a national story now. It's all over the place. There you go. Nice.
there it is.
Yeah, it's a national story. It's all over the place, and he's gonna end up looking like a
Ooh.
douche. But again, he doesn't care about looking like a douche because everybody in New York hates him anyway. The funny thing about that is he's probably never had to kick anybody out of the Knicks stadium because nobody goes and watches those games because they suck. So he's got to kick everybody out of Radio City Music Hall. But no, it's just an interesting story, and of course it goes into broader. I mean, look at facial recognition software. I mean that's somewhat scary where you can just a huge place. I've been there. I've actually seen the Rockette show at Christmas at Radio City Music Hall. It's a big theater, obviously, hundreds of people, and for them to be able to pick you, I don't even think she made it in. I think they picked her like in the line, like waiting to get in. That's got good implications. For example, if you had it on an airport or something, you were looking for a particular terrorist, maybe or
Terrorist,
something.
yeah.
But if you just got it laying around at like businesses all over cities, and they use it a lot in China, and they use it all these other places. It's a little bit scary when you think about the broader context of it. It's funny to laugh at them using it. I mean, it's his private building, it's private business. He can kick out whoever he wants, obviously. But
Yeah.
that if that kind of technology gets to like that, it can be a little bit scary because what happens when the government decides they don't like people wearing MAGA hats or Trump supporters or whatever, and then now they put those software recognitions everywhere, and they can find you wherever you go, and then they can track you down. It's kind of scary.
Like, you understand it's scary that you're just saying that anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that it's become illegal to vote for someone in the United States. And the Nazi president that we have in his brown shirt tactics, you know, the what he's doing where he's trying to turn the mob and stuff like that. So if you don't have the right to vote, it's not like you shouldn't vote for him. You should vote for me. It's if you vote for him, you're a criminal.
Threat to
You know,
democracy.
we're gonna turn the FBI against you. You know, it's just like at one point, when do we get to arrest him for doing that and the FBI for doing that? Like not to be all bitchy and whiny because I haven't slept for a week and
Yeah.
I'm cranky, but I guess it's better than me drinking a half a bottle of bourbon and going off.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. We'll see next week.
Whiskey and lightheadedness from disease could make for an entertaining show.
Uh, oh, the bottles.
Well, yeah, I mean, the FBI. Hey, look, we're drunk and dying.
There it
Nice, yeah.
is.
We're on. We're not on Twitter, but obviously we've discovered that the FBI is basically working hand in hand with these big companies. So, right, so it all bleeds into everything else. The FBI is working hand in hand with Twitter to go after all those people. What if the FBI worked hand in hand with the asshole that owned the New York Knicks and started freaking using his facial recognition software to find people that they don't like? That's
At a
scary.
Knicks game, you kidding me? They wouldn't need facial rec. They got a
Well,
guy
that's what I'm
standing
saying.
there with
Those seven
six
people,
pictures, looking up,
right?
going, "He's not one.
Yep.
He's not one.
Yep.
She's not one."
Well, they're already being punished. If they're going to a Knicks game, they're already being punished. They don't need to be punished anymore.
Yeah, they've already done something wrong.
They're a Knicks fan. There's already something wrong with them anyway.
I don't know. It could be a Celtics fan, and they just drove there because they want to make fun of them.
I don't know. So here's a funny thing. The polar vortex is coming up, which marks the anniversary of the last polar vortex when those MAGA guys in Chicago beat up that dude and put a noose around his neck when he went for Subway. So
The MAGA
that's
guys.
coming up. Yeah, remember the guy was in Chicago and the MAGA guys beat him up and put a noose around his neck, and you remember that? Juicy Schmoye?
I don't remember that.
They turned out to be the Nigerians. Yeah, that actor guy that said that
Oh
the
yeah,
MAGA
yeah,
guys in
yeah, that's right.
Chicago, and that was during the last polar vortex when it was like 40 degrees, and he went to get a Subway sandwich at like 2 a.m. He got jumped by two MAGA hat wearing guys in Chicago, and said, "This is MAGA country," and then it turned out to be two black Nigerians that he paid for with a check.
Yeah, and he got severely punished for that though, like he should.
Well, he went to jail, and then they let him out after like 2 days.
Yeah, well, he served his time.
He did. He had to pay restitution, I guess.
Restitution, dude.
He had to pay the cops back for all the work that they did. But as a defense attorney, my advice would be don't pay your accomplices by check.
By check. Well,
Cash
he
is
is pretty
king.
smart anyway, so
Right, yeah, right. Cash is king. Do not pay your criminal accomplices with check. Paper trails are bad.
There you go. There's your tip of the week.
Yep, that's right.
Oh,
Jeez, dude. And you said you tested negative for the unnamed virus of unspecified origin?
yeah.
All right, good. Glad to hear it. You don't want to come down with that crap. You gonna make it?
Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain anyways.
Yeah,
This,
I get it. Yeah, he's dying but
yeah,
not drunk. That's all right.
like if I was drunk, I'd probably be in a lot less pain.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Usually
Bottle.
they give you the alcohol when you're hurt. It's like remember during the Civil War, they would just get you drunk and then saw your leg off.
Basically, alcohol is like one of the few things that actually helps with the pain I have.
Yeah.
That's why I don't medicate with it.
Good idea.
Although I am wondering if the bottom of that bottle was still up there.
What else is going on?
Um,
We didn't really have any topics for tonight, guys. We just figured we'd wing it. We'd wing it for some Christmas topics and just kind of get some updated stuff. Next week we'll do a year in review, I guess, because it'll be New Year's Eve after that. So maybe we'll put together a little year end tribute to like the craziest gun stories of the year. or craziest gun laws of the year or something like that. That'd be kind of fun, like a little countdown of like top 10 stupidest criminals or something like that for next week. That'd be kind of fun.
Hey, you gonna go to SHOT Show?
I I'd like to. I've never been to one, but I hear it's pretty strict. Like you gotta be FFL or you gotta go through huge background checks or whatever, which I wouldn't have a problem passing. But
You
I'd be
sure?
happy to go if somebody ever invited me.
I'm inviting you. You should go.
Well,
Just
yeah, we can't go this
use.
year. Isn't it like a couple weeks or something?
Well, you need to make up your mind.
Right. That's a little short notice. Like I could go next year because I got some time to plan, but you can't drop a Vegas trip on me with like 4 weeks notice.
Well, it was like 6 weeks. 'Cause I asked you 2 weeks ago.
I'll actually be in Vegas for. I'll be turning 50 this year, so we're going out to Vegas to celebrate my birthday.
You look really good for a guy your age.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, it's the beard dye. It kind of keeps things looking a little younger.
Uh,
This that's traveling with guns. I had a weird issue that I read about this week. Um, a guy went to the airport with some firearms. They were in the original manufacturer's case, these firearms. He also then went to the store at the airport and bought the TSA approved locks for the gun cases and put them all the gun cases, and he put them all through, and they approved two of them, and they said one of them they wouldn't approve because the manufacturer box itself wasn't didn't meet the standards of TSA for securing it, because apparently if you had two or three different types of tools in about an hour's worth of time, you could pop the back of the box up or whatever, the pins out, and open it up large enough to maybe reach in and fondle the gun, I guess, or something. I don't know. And
I'll
so
tell you
they
what.
gave this guy
Give me
huge
any
grief about it.
TSA approved case, a fucking sledgehammer, right, in about 4 friggin' minutes, and we'll see if we can get the gun out.
Right. Right. And the guy's like, look, it's the manufacturer's case, and I bought your locks, and they're still giving him grief about it, apparently. So it's just a word to the wise. We're talking about traveling and going to Vegas and stuff. It's you got to read all their rules and regulations, and they do make special TSA approved cases and all that stuff. So just when you're going to travel, you got to check with the airlines ahead of time. You got to check with the TSA rules and make sure that you've got the proper stuff, because it's like anything else. He could have gone the next day, and it would have been a different TSA worker, and they would have said, it's fine, slide it through. But you get the one guy that's having a bad day, or he gets a little bit of power. He's making $12 an hour working for the
Yeah,
TSA, and he gets a little bit of power, and all of a sudden he's like Gestapo with the gun cases or whatever. So it's like everything else. You never know, but all you can do is your due diligence and hope that they that you don't get the wrong guy at the counter.
that's like I was flying once, right, and I had 13 handguns with me, and I get up to the thing to check them for the flight back, right, and the lady looks at me and goes, "Oh, well, you're only allowed to have two," and I'm like, I go, "That's not true." She's like, "Yep, you're only allowed to have two to fly with two handguns." I'm like, "That's not true at all." She goes, "Yes, it is." I go, "Did they change that today?" She says, "No, it's always been like that." I'm like, "First of all, let me ask you this. How do you think I got the 13 handguns here? Because I'm on my way home. How do you think I got them here?" She goes, "Well, I don't know, but you're only allowed to fly with two." I'm like, "That's not true." She goes, "Well, I'm going to check." And I'm like, "You should." And then she she makes us wait like 5 minutes. She comes. She was nice enough. She comes home and goes, "Oh, I apologize. There's no limit that you can fly with." And I'm like, I want to go, no shit,
Right.
but I was, just like, "Thank you," like that. Like TSA is funny. I gotta tell you, I've had the best experience I've had with TSA has been in Sarasota. Like SRQ, was I had an incident there once, and they were very good to me. You
Yeah.
know, I was on a going on a protection gig, and we were with the friggin' client, and Alex and the noun, they go through first, and then I go through, and they stop, and they grab my bag, and they're looking at it, and I'm like, is it the flashlight? And the guy goes, no, I think it's the bullet. And I'm like, oh, right. And what it was is, I used my backpacks and
Sure.
shake everything out, did the best I could, but there was one stuck someplace. And it wasn't like, it was just in there because they sent it through the machine 3 times, right? And they still couldn't find it, and then they found it. But, you know, it was like I was standing there and they called 12 TSA agents and a shrink. So they got to watch you,
Right. They got to make
right, to
sure that. Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah. Sure.
see how you're acting. And I'm standing there and I'm like, this is bad, you know. And then 2 guys come up and they go, "You're Don't Shoot Mike." And I'm like, "Yep." They're like, "We took your class." I'm like, "Awesome." I go, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Just do what they tell you. You know, if you know if they send you something, open it up. Stuff like that." And they said, like, I go, "What are they doing right now?" They go, "They're taking pictures of the bullet." I go, "Don't they have the bullet?" And then some cop comes up and gets in my face, and he's trying to play the tough guy, and he's like, "You think this is funny?" And what I wanted to say is, "No, what those shorts you're wearing are," but I didn't. I behaved myself.
Yeah. That's.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
but I was like, "Do you think I did this on purpose? You like this is what you think? I'm trying to sneak a bullet on the plane. You know, it took you 3 tries to find out where it was and to get it out. Obviously, it was stuck in there, and I didn't see it." And he's like, "Ugh." And then they
No, that
just
just
they
means you
just
were
said,
really trying to sneak it in there because you didn't want them to find it.
"Right, that's what it was." And then but the 2 guys are like, they just kind of backed me up and they just kind of
Right.
got in front of me, and they were just like, "Don't listen to him, just you know." And I'm like, "All right," and everything was good. The only other time
Yeah.
I was in Boston, I was going through the line, and a guy saw my laptop, and he looked and he goes, "Oh," he saw the Veritas sticker, and he points at it, and he goes, "I watched some on YouTube," and he goes, "Hey, that's you." And I was like, "Yeah." He
That's right.
goes, "I seen you on YouTube." I'm like, "Cool, thanks." And he was pretty good, but I've had issues like in Washington. I threatened to kick one of the guys in the head. You
Well,
know,
that's yeah. That'll do it.
they did this. There's a line of people, right? We're going through the X-ray machine, and there's like 2 scumbags, then Nylan, then Madeline when she was like 16, and they pick her to go through the machine.
Hmm.
And I'm like, she's not going through the machine. And it's like, "Oh no, it's just," I'm like, "I don't give a shit." I'm like, "She's not going through the machine." "Well, we're gonna I go, "No one's touching her." I go, "I'll tell you what, why don't you get your boss and tell him that we're having a problem because we're about to make a YouTube video." Right? And the guy comes over and he's looking, he goes, "So what?" I go, "Right over here, I'm the problem." And he comes over, I go, "This is what's going on." He says, "Oh no, it's not like that." I go, "No, it's exactly like that. That's what the hell you're doing, right? You're scumbag people, you know, and you're not doing it with my daughter, right?" And they're like, "Well, we'll have to get a woman to call." I go, "All right." So he goes and gets her. They got a lady comes over. He sits, He's standing there, and she goes, "You can go sit down if you want." I go, "No, here's what's going to happen." I go, "You do one thing that I deem inappropriate, and I'm going to punch you in the head, and I'm going to kick him in the face." All right. She goes, "Oh, right." And the guy goes, "Hey, it doesn't have to be like that. This is just my job." I go, "That's right. You picked this job, and this is what's going on right now because of it. So let's go. Let's see how this plays out." And they were very careful. And since that time, I have never been taken out of line. And every time before that, I have. They're always like, look at me and go, "That's the guy."
They
But
facial recognized you as the dude that's going to punch somebody in the face if they take you out of line.
pretty much, like, just it's not worth the $13 an hour we get paid to say one thing to that angry midget. So just let him go. I told the guy, I go, "You're freaking kidding me, right?" I go, "Listen," I go, "Did you read the report on what the FBI did when they came through and they smuggled, what was it, 67 out of 71, 72 weapons onto planes a month ago?" I go, you guys couldn't stop me from doing something if I tried to bring a broadsword on this plane." I go, "So let's just get this over with." It's just, I just want to, I'm sick of stupid shit. I'm sick of it. You know what? I'm gonna go bankrupt sending people friggin' douches.
Mhm.
That's it. I'm gonna sell my car. I'm gonna spend all my
Everybody's going to
money.
get one.
Everybody's getting a thing saying they're a douche. "Hey, I got a job at TSA." You're a douche. Unless you're at
Yeah.
Sarasota, because they're very good to me.
Well, some of these, it's like anything else. I mean, I cannot confirm nor deny that I may have represented people at an SRQ airport that accidentally took things through the security because they didn't have it. I've also had them at Orlando International, and I've had them at Tampa International. It's like anything else.
I don't know how they got
You
your
could,
number.
right. You could go through one. You could go through, for example, you could go through Sarasota, and you might get a reasonable airport cops, reasonable TSA people. They'll just write maybe a report, take your gun, let you on your plane, and go on your way. And then you could go through an airport like Orlando or Tampa, and they'll handcuff you, put you on a no-fly list, and make you sit in jail for 2 days because you accidentally took your guns on there. So it all depends like where you're at and what's going on, and it's just your example is funny because I tell people that all the time about being careful what you take on a plane because I always tell people have your gun bags and have your travel bags and never the two shall meet because what happens is just like you explained they use the bag at the range and a bullet gets lodged somewhere. I've even had a gun get put in a compartment that they forgot was there. One person was actually evacuating during a hurricane and so they took their firearm and shoved it in their bag because they were on their way to the airport and forgot to take it out of their bag when they got to the airport. All of these were innocent mistakes. Nobody was obviously trying to get on the plane with a gun to be a terrorist,
Right.
but it's just too easy to do that. And it's not even just that. I did a video a month ago or so. It happened at the courthouse. I was going in the courthouse. The lawyer in front of me his thing went off. He's got a gun inside of his bag because he has a concealed carry permit. He's perfectly legal, but he put his gun in his computer bag because he was working at the office late at night or whatever, and then he got up in the morning and went straight to the courthouse and forgot to take the gun
Yeah.
out of his computer bag. So he's going through the courthouse, gun, gun, gun. The cops all come out. Now again, they were nice to him because it was in a small local courthouse, so they were
Yeah.
nice to him. They held the gun. They wrote up a little report. They let him go to court. Nothing ever happened to it. You try something like that at a major courthouse in Orlando or Tampa or New York City or somewhere like that, and you're you're going to be in a world of hurt and a lot of trouble. So it's very important to try and keep a lot of people are going to be traveling because it's the holidays this week and everything else, but you got to pay attention to where you put your stuff. And if you can, have travel luggage and gun luggage, and the two shall never meet. Otherwise, you're going to end up with one of these situations because you could get lucky like you and nobody's going to have a problem, but you could also get unlucky and spend a couple days in jail. And the TSA can fine you. They can give you a fine of up to like $15,000 for violating it. They send you these extortion letters that say, hey, you violated the statute. The fine is $15,000. But if you pay us like $5,000 in 30 days, we'll consider the matter closed. So people always get those extortion letters from the TSA after they get charges like that. So just be very careful. If you're traveling this holiday season or any other sort of holiday season or whatever, check your luggage. Make sure you don't have any of those issues because you will run into some of those. And, you can call them douches or whatever. But by the same token, like I want them checking to make sure terrorists and stuff aren't bringing things on the plane. But we know that they screw those up all the time because, like you said, the FBI, when they're trying to do it purposely, they can get on the plane. But when you accidentally do it, all of a sudden, they swarm around you in the terminal. So it's just kind of weird. You should probably be able to carry. I think you should be able to carry guns anywhere you want, even on planes. There's nothing in the Constitution that says shall not be infringed, unless you're on an airplane. Now, I understand they didn't exist when they wrote the Constitution, but it's not in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's our Christmas travel tip of the day. 2 tips today.
Well,
don't pay your offices by check and don't travel with your stuff.
What do you carry? What's your EDC when you get on a plane?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Are you going to recommend things that you can carry on a plane that aren't necessarily going to get you stopped at TSA?
Well,
probably should do that on a YouTube video.
It's like this. Like I always like things I fly with. Okay, so I always fly with my Surefire E2D.
What's that?
So the E2 Defender.
But what is it like a?
It's got an aggressive strike bezel.
Okay.
Like this, it's aggressive enough that I don't carry it in my pants normally when I have knives because it'll cut through your pants and stuff like that. So you need a flashlight anyways, but to have one with a strike bezel, TSA has no issues with flashlights with strike bezels.
That's good to know.
I got a Boker pen, right, designed to do more than sign checks to your criminal accomplices, like whatever. So, it's metal. It's got a flat end on one, so you can have your thumb over it. Like it's designed it'll penetrate a human skull. Like what you can't take is something that has a gun name on it. So if you get a self-defense pen that says Uzi on it, you can't take that because you may shoot
on it. Right.
Right. But if you take the Uzi off, if you wipe off the paint, then it's okay. Like you can't take anything that says Smith & Wesson,
Right.
But if you wipe it off, then it's okay. Like I'm too sick to deal with stupid ass idiots right now, to be honest.
Well, when I go on the plane, I always travel with Smith & Wesson. Smith & Wesson. I'm always concealed carrying. Unless I'm at the beach, then I'm open carrying.
It's the only open carry I agree with.
I have this pen. I wish I had it. Maybe I'll show it next time. I bought it at a gun show, but it's just a pen, but it's got a bolt. Like it's designed. It's shaped kind of like a bullet, and it's got a bolt slide on it to engage the pen thing. It's got Second Amendment, American flag written all over it.
Yep.
And I tried to go through the courthouse in Tampa, and they pulled it out, and they're the lady's like, "What's?" No, the lady pulls it out. She's like, "What's this? What is this?" And I said, "That's a pen." She's like, "Hold it." So there's 2 people when you go to every courthouse. There's the security guards making the minimum wage, working for the private company, and of course you have the bailiffs that are actual deputies that work for the sheriff's department and courthouse. So the security guard lady, "Oh, what is this? Oh, you can't have this. What is this?" I'm like, "It's a pen. It's a pen." She's like, "What is it?" She calls the deputy over to show it to him, and he goes, "It's a pen." And then he walked away, and she gave it back to me, and I went into court. So it's just funny how you can try and carry things that are even not weapons, but again, it depends on who you get at at the gate. So I see what you're saying about the things that there are probably things that you could carry on a plane that would pass TSA muster, but like you said, even then you might get the one jerk that thinks that you can't have it or whatever. I mean, it still amazes me to this day that you can't bring like water or liquids onto a plane. I mean, it's the dumbest shit. I'm gonna throw acid on the pilot in my Evian water bottle. It's the same thing at the courthouses. Like you can go through the courthouse security and buy the shit from their cafeteria that's on the first floor, but you can't bring in your own outside drinks because they don't know what's inside your container. So stupid. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. No, heroin. Yeah, heroin's a clear liquid. So yeah.
Well, that's
Anyway,
like
who knows? Careful when you travel.
that's like I told you a story that with a guy told the pilot that he couldn't have his little Swiss Army knife because he could take control of the plane with it.
Right.
He's like, I already have control of the plane. I don't need the knife. Except he said a
That
lot
really,
more colorful.
that probably really freaked him out.
Well, the other pilot that said, do you know what they do when they make a plane? They buy an axe and they build a cockpit around it. He's like, I got an axe. Why would I need a Swiss Army knife?
Right.
You know, it's just
I don't know.
dumb rules drive me crazy, especially when I feel like crap.
Yeah, it's a bureaucracy. We'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up and end it early tonight because yeah, you're looking a little rough.
I'm a sweat.
I got a question for you after the show though. I'm gonna send you a text about it.
Right.
But so moral of the story is, let's see, in summation, don't write a check to your criminal accomplices with
Opposites.
or don't pay your criminal accomplices with a check. Keep your gun bags and your travel bags separate so you don't get busted at TSA. And if anybody tries to wand or search Mike or anybody in his party, they're going to get punched in the nose and kicked in the face.
That's it.
That about sum it up?
Yeah, just don't try to like X-ray my 16-year-old daughter when you could pick out one of those scumbags in front of her.
Well, look, man, they can't profile. They have to randomly grab everybody because if you target the people who actually
they can randomly grab my dick. How's that?
Statistically, the people who you would be concerned about, then you end up looking like you're an istophobe of some sort. So it's one of those things where, profiling does work, but sometimes it's bad, I guess. I don't know.
It's just simple as this. If you want to X-ray my daughter when she's 16, you can fight me about it first, and then I don't have a problem with it. Let's see how much it's worth to you.
I hear you. All right. We're going to wrap up our Christmas show. I got one final question for you. We'll get out of here on this topic. Die Hard, Christmas movie or not a Christmas movie?
What do you mean? Of course it's a Christmas movie. Look, let me ask you this.
Movie. There's only one.
You know how you can tell it's a Christmas movie? Go see if you can watch it for free. Go on an app, see if you can watch Die Hard right now.
I actually try to do that because my 19-year-old daughter has never seen it, and I wanted to watch it with her. And it's not. You have to pay for it or down.
Right, but I bet you next month
from Amazon.
Next month you won't have to.
Yeah. Well, it's like in the past, if you walked into a video store and went to the holiday section, is it on the shelf in the holiday section or is it not on the shelf in the holiday section?
It should be on the shelf.
But regardless, it's clearly a holiday movie, Christmas movie. So I want to make sure you're on the same page. I actually did a video. I think last Christmas I did like a 20-minute breakdown video of why it's a Christmas movie, going through all the facts and stuff. So you can check that out on Musings with MGL. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm hitting close to 870 something subscribers. It'd be pretty cool to get to 1,000 at some point. Just
get them up to 1,000.
Yep, get me up to 1,000. Watch on Frontside Press, Facebook. Again, we're continuing to evolve the show. At some point, we'll be able to read your comments in live time, and you can ask questions and comment on things. We'll get a chat going. But this is only our third show. It's my third show. It's only your second show. So we're still bruising in. But after the new year, we're going to expand things up. We're going to do a lot of cool new things. We got some stuff in the works for you. So keep tuning in. And next week, we'll do a year in review of we'll figure out what it's going to be. Either, weird gun stories worst gun laws, worst politicians. I don't know. We'll figure something out next week. We'll make it fun. We'll bring the booze because it'll be New Year's. It'll be our New Year's show. So tune in next week. Tune in to Front Side Press and like, subscribe, share. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Whatever it is. Happy nothing. If you're one of those assholes that doesn't celebrate anything, that's on you too. Free country.
Punch them in the face too.
All right.
And a jackass,
call it a day. Go ahead.
Jackass, you say Merry Christmas, and they say I don't celebrate Christmas. Well, go screw yourself. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, no, you can't. It's like the people that don't like dogs. Like, how the fuck can you not like dogs? Like, I don't know. Some people are just bad people, man. Some people are just bad people.
Just bad. That's right.
Some people are just morons. Some people are just bad people. That's why we have guns.
Get me out of here so I can suffer.
All right. Wrap it up. Play us out.
Merry Christmas,
buddy. Merry Christmas,
Happy
everybody else.
Hanukkah,
We'll see you next week.